As Jesus was leaving the temple courts, he asked the question, how is it that the teachers of the law say that the Christ is the son of David? David himself, speaking by the Holy Spirit, declared, "The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I may put your enemies under your feet." David calls him Lord. How then can he be his son? So Jesus is speaking there about a tradition, a father, no matter what happened to his son, no matter how high he got exalted, would never call him Lord, not in that culture. But here Jesus is saying David is going to call the Messiah Lord. And so at the end here of this day, in public, he is leaving the crowds with the knowledge, or at least the question over his being the Messiah, and letting them draw the conclusion. And then they came to the place where the offerings were being put, entrance to the temple on the south side. There were trumpet-like receptacles, and people were throwing money in. And the thing you did when you wanted to put money in those offering, you wanted to give the most amount of change so you'd make the most noise. And a widow came with 2 very small copper coins called the widow's mite, put them in, and Jesus said she put in more than all the others. She, out of her poverty, put in everything she had to live on. And so we see another insight here on how God views our giving. He doesn't view it in the amount, but in relationship to what it costs us, the sacrifice. Some who give very little as far as man is concerned, in God's eyes, are giving much more than those who give large gifts. That's the point of what Jesus is making. Then chapter 13 is all about 2 main events. One that would happen in 68 to 70 AD, the destruction of Jerusalem, and then also Jesus' second coming. Those 2 events are spoken about, and what prompted them is the disciples who are from Galilee saying, "Look at these massive stones, what magnificent buildings," and Jesus speaks about the destruction that's coming within that generation, before that generation passes. But then he also speaks about his return to the earth. And these 2 events, the destruction of Jerusalem and the second coming, have similar signs. In fact, we know that Jerusalem in the last days will be a rock that sends the nations reeling. And even today, we see that as a big topic in the UN. In 1997, they were supposed to decide on the final status of Jerusalem. They still haven't decided on it, because Jerusalem is like no other city on the earth. It is the home of the three major world religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and there will never be any resolution there, permanent resolution, until Jesus comes and sets up his kingdom on earth. And so Jerusalem will play a major role in the last days scenario. The thing that he leaves us with about his second coming, I think, which is so good for us to hear, the last words there in verse 37, "What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch." And so that's what we want to do in these last days we're in, watch for his return to the earth. God bless you as you walk with him today, and as you think about these things that Jesus said. May they fill your hearts and minds, and realize that today was the day that really tipped the scales and set off the events that led to his death, his arrest on Thursday and his death on Friday, but not in the sense that he was the victim. God was sovereignly in control of everything that was happening, and even from way back to Lazarus is being raised from the dead, and these events that took place in the temple courts. And so the stage is set for them to try to find a way to arrest Jesus, and that will happen at the proper time. God bless you as you walk with him today.